If you have to roll a 2 plus to charge, don't roll a 1.
Hey guys, what's up? So recently I finished a commission for a friend of mine for 100 billion kingdoms. And just wanted to do a quick video about my process and some pictures. This is not a how to speed paint, because that wasn't the purpose of this commission. The purpose of this commission was to, paint and get paid on a timely manner. So this commission took me 32 hours to finish. Took me about a month altogether, 4 hours here, 4 hours there. But all together, assembling, priming, basing, everything, 32 hours. I don't really know the points cost for the amount of models that are in this army, but it's easily well over 2,000. I'm sure some of you who are going to watch this video can just take the units and make a list and figure out. I have no interest in doing that. It's not really that important. So this wasn't a 32-hour commission for a 2,000 point army. This was a 32-hour speed paint for my friend's collection. Okay. Here we have the models just, here we have the models just in good old plastic. I had to put some other units together, but these were the ones that were supplied to me together. I had to kind of fix these up a little bit. During the process, a lot of these bows and arrows broke. They're very finicky, very thin arrows. Not good for modeling, but it is what it is. And to keep track of the paints, because I only use contrast and speed paints in my speed painting commissions, because that's what I do. I don't have the attention span to concentrate on one model for 12 hours and do a decent job. Instead, I use various speed painting techniques. So I work on a model for about a half an hour and get an amazing job out of it. But this is also an issue of understanding how you function when it comes to productivity and then molding your habits around your core premises instead of fighting it. For instance, some may say I have ADHD. Sure, I'll say I have that, where I can't really focus on something. Then the opposite of that is true, where some people with ADHD can absolutely focus on something for 20 hours, but mine is the one where I can't focus, if it's even a thing, whatever. Either way, fact is, I can't focus on something for more than a few minutes, so I spent the past 20 years of my life never painting an army and never knowing why and being depressed and frustrated until, I learned to fix myself, and now I paint large-scale armies en masse and quick. For instance, I have over 23,000 points worth of Tyranids, and over the past year, I painted the entire 23,000 point collection. Still have some detailing work to do, but I don't know, Diego from 10 years ago, I couldn't paint one squad in 20 years. Now I just paint in collections in a matter of a couple of days. So there's hope for all of you out there. If you have frustrations with painting and you don't know what the problem is, let me know in the comments section, and I can make some videos to help you out with that. But yep, I also have a don't know if it's a bad memory, but I can't remember things that well. Even if I say the name of something 1,000 times, this is not how I work. I am a repetitive person. I have to do the action many times for it to sink in my mind. Where other people in the store, they'll look at 3 paints, walk away, and then a week later tell me exactly what those 3 paints were. So everyone's different. You just have to learn to work with how you are. A is A, as Aristotle said. So to keep track of my paints, I take the white plastic card, and then I just kind of smear the various browns and greens, and then I take a picture. So whenever I need to know what brown I used on a specific model, I look at this picture, and as you can see here, you can see the cursor, right? As you can see here, this brown right here, 4th from the right, would be 1, 2, 3, 4. It would be contrast wildwood. There you go. So that's how I keep track of my paints. Let's get on to the army. So this is the army that I finished. There are 4 characters, 2 on the side. I guess there are some characters that are mounted as well. I'm not too familiar with 100 Kingdoms. And then here are all the regiments. But that's basically the entire army put together. I'm sure some of you can make a points list to see what that is. I don't know the names of all the units. Sorry, regiments. Sorry, Parabellum. Don't know the name of all the regiments, but let's just go over them Here's a wider shot. I guess these are men-at-arms. Browns and reds, muted grass with kind of brown grass to give them a commoner kind of look. And the characters were also speed painted to have more of a dark skin, kind of commoner look to them. This is another picture of the army. You can see these bow and arrow dudes here on the left. As you can see, a lot of their arrows are broken. So finicky. And then I lose the arrows in the rug at the store, so they're just gone forever. Unfortunately, these guys are going to be firing bolts as if they were crossbows. Here are the Ashen Dawn, I believe, and back here, Household Guard. I have better pictures coming up of them. Here's more of the army up close. I guess these are Household Knights or Gilded. I'm not sure. But the ones with the two-handed sword, I used non-metallic speed paint yellows to give them like just a golden look. The only unit I use actual metallics for was the Ashen Dawn, just to have them stick out from the rest. But everything else, it's just basic muted colors. For this regiment, I use a really dark purple and then a dark pink to give them a royal color, because these two units are supposed to stand out from the rest of the army. And their grass has little lively flowers on them to show that they're kind of like the upper class in a sense. We could just skip these pictures here because we have some more detailed ones. But these pictures here are just like more of the army together in a collage sort of way. I've always liked this guy's hat. And I don't know what this black spot is. The guy does not actually have a black spot on his hat. Maybe it's an artifact. I think that's actually just a hole in the hat. I know that's not paint for sure. I like painting this guy. I like their faces. Their faces came out really well with the speed painting. Look at these faces. They look pretty boss. Look at those faces. They actually look like people, like real men. The faces are more realistic than the rest of the models. Look at that. It's all speed paints. Let's go into the more unit-focused pictures. These are, Crimson Tower? I think the Crimson Tower are the fire-based religious order. So I gave them oranges, yellows, and reds. That's, I guess, the character that goes with them. That banner is also kind of multi-orange, yellowed, red. Yep. So my process for speed painting is black primer, spray can primer. Then I dry brush white. My friend told me just to do zenithal, where you just take the white spray can and spray off over the top. But because my friend Joe is awesome, I decided to give him the dry brush on every single model. I could have sped this commission up by like maybe 6 hours if I just used zenithal priming, but you know, I love Joe, so he gets the best. That's why you get the various shades within the speed painting. Then I put on the contrast and speed paint colors. And then at the end, I just take white and I dry brush white. It gives the models in person a really dusty look. Some people like it, some people don't. That's just my style. But it quickly highlights the edges of the armor and the helmets and whatnot. I think we're now in the... Okay, good. I'm going the correct way. Here are the Ashen Dawn. These guys actually got a very light highlighting. But I was trying the metallic speed paints from Army Builder, which is the golden trim, and I wasn't a fan. It doesn't really stick. It doesn't shine through the varying shades of white and black on the model as speed paints and contrast paints do. They just look gold. So, don't know if I'll be using it again in the future. But I like the way these guys turned out. Black, red, and gold. Very, very adorable. Ready to beat your face. These are Household Knights, I believe. I want to give them a more royal look, so they got the blue treatment with little multicolored flags on their horses. But yeah, these guys got the blue treatment. More highlighting here on the body and the armor, as you can see from the dry brushing the white back on it. Some brown for the wraps. Here a close-up of the Crimson Tower. That's what they're called, right? Yep, Crimson Tower. Moving on over. What is that? I don't know what that is. I guess these are just regular peasants. I don't even know what these guys are called. Men at arms, I guess. I don't even know. But their faces are real sullen, real dark. Like they're in the misery of war. They're like, oh my god, why are we here? We're the first ones to die. And typically on the battlefield, these guys are the first one to die. So I gave them reds as they come from a noble house, and then darker browns and darker grays for their muted, dreary role in combat. Here's a close up of the Gilded Legion, I believe. That's what they're called. And once again, as you can see, just contrast yellows with some highlights over them. Here are the more purpley guys. Their faces came out okay. Still kind of dark. The main leader here, I guess he's an upgrade for the regiment. He came out kind of cool. His purple regalia. More close-up of the household. I'm sorry, the men-at-arms, I believe. They also come from a noble house, so they have red dyes in their leather. Here are the rusty, dusty, whatever these guys are called. I don't know. 100 Kingdom has like 1,000 different range units, but if you're looking at this, you can just probably tell what they are. I like the way the faces came out with these guys too, with the speed paints. Very realistic looking faces. Nice browns. Good highlighting on these guys. I like the highlighting on the wraps on the arms. It came out really well on these models. And here's some more. Yeah, these guys, I guess, are the men-at-arm versions of the range units. Their faces came out pretty cool too. This guy right here is just staring into your soul. Look at that. He's like, why am I in this combat? But they're more of a ragtag kind of drafted unit. That's why their clothing have different blues, reds, and yellows, because they don't come from a unified kingdom. They come from a ragtag of a bunch of different kingdoms kind of put together. Here are some more crossbowmen. Headless Bob over here. I lost his head somewhere. So I gotta find a head and paint it up and glue it on him. I might just keep him Headless Bob forever. Well, that's kind of cute. I like the way these guys, green ranger-like armor came out. And I think that might be it. Oh. Yep, that's pretty much it. So thank you guys for taking a gander at this. And if any of you would like commissions, let me know in the comments section. I'll add you to my Discord and we'll talk about pricing. Not that expensive, believe it or not. My work is very cheap. All of this that you see here, well, I'm not going to tell you my price, but let me know in a DM if you like a commission. Okay. I do work small scale and large scale. The larger, the better, so I can get more work done quickly. And it's just a cheaper discount if I just do larger jobs for people. So, yep. Love Conquest, love the models, love working on them. And one day I'll get the rest of my Nords painted. I have to commission myself to get the rest of my Nords painted. My next commission I'm working on are Wajrun. And it was specified to not be a speed painting commission, a traditional painting commission to match an existing paint job. I haven't done one of those kind of jobs in quite a long time, so it's going to look great, but it's going to be an interesting ride. So, have a great day, and when you need to roll a 2+ for a speed painting commission, don't roll anyone but me. All right, peace out.